Let's continue configuring the second part. The second part is MLAG, because this device, you see, will time out. It's to save time. Our software can directly modify something. Let's configure this password first. We don't need this direction. Let's remember to start the program first. Refresh something. This thing is the user interface console 0 at the time. Change this timeout setting. Then we configure it when we are using TCP. It should be uninterrupted. Don't need to hit space, right? Don't interrupt, just press 0. Just refresh. This saves more time, but depend on the situation then. Let's refresh this device. This way it won't time out. Also, after configuring this command, just take a look. It's this kind of situation. It won't be interrupted in the middle. This saves time. Then we start configuring the second part, MLAG. The MLAG section is like this. We'll take a look. It's not clearly stated in the exam venue. It just says that span and leaf need ultimate reliability. So actually we need to configure MLAG. Configure MLAG for span 1 and span 2. Based on this location, 4748 is a peer link address. Then 11 and this firewall, this is LAG1. This side is LAG2. Then this side is 4748, a peer link. It's the same here. Okay, let's start configuring. Because this MLAG section, it's basically the same configuration. We can directly apply the configuration. First, the mode in the exam venue is not yet required. This part is not required, it's just one. SDP mode, RSDP, SDP, VSDP-enable. Directly apply this. Directly apply this. Span 2. Push it out. When practicing normally, you must learn how to apply configurations. Many of these configurations are repetitive. Then, let's configure the second part, DFS. For DFS, we use the address like this. It means span 1 and span 2 use the address 11.1.1.1. It's like the addresses we use along the Huawei River. Because span 1 is a master, leaf 1 is master, leaf 2 is master. We can refresh the configuration here. It can be directly copied. DFS group 1, protect 150. This can be directly refreshed. Just refresh this leaf 1. Refresh leaf 2. Then configure the language. The language SRC for leaf span 1 is 11.1.1.1. SRCIP 11.1.1, good. This DFS group 1, SRCIP 11.2.2. Its SRCIP is 11.3.3.3, right? DFS group 1, SRCIP is 11.4.4.4. SRCIP is 11.5.5.5. DFS group 1, SRCIP is 11.6.6.6. Let's configure DFS group 1 first. Once configured, start configuring a peer link. This can actually be refreshed as well. Interface trunk 0, mode LACP static, then trunk 10G 1047 to 1048, peer link 1, wait, it's stuck, we can directly refresh, trunk 0, LACP, then add this interface, peer link 1 is fine. We can directly refresh, just refresh everything. This Proti is 1-50, directly refresh. Wait a moment, after configuring this, must check it. Check if it's done. It's done, right? Let's see, use this command. Display DFS Group 1 MLAG, take a look. Span 1, it's master. Span 2 is backup. Look at leaf 1, span 1. Not leaf 1, it's master. No problem, right? No problem. 2A. Also no problem, this part is fine. Then we need to configure this binding. We're on span 1, it's lit up. Enter this address. There shouldn't be one on this firewall 1 box. This should need a password change. Let's log in first. If it's the first time changing the password is admin, add123. Okay? Need to change the password the first time. Enter the old password, then enter the new password. About this password, change them all uniformly to Huawei add123. Okay. Let's change the name. Just to mention, this firewall interface is a bit different from our counter. We use, it seems like 7 and 8, SDNFW1, because this interface on our side is a 10G interface. That's a 10G interface. The counter should be 101. These two interfaces should be 101 and 02. These two interfaces we use are 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Check this later. Then we enable LDP enable. We can also check this. Check the LDP status. LDP enable brief. Take a look. The firewall is 16. This one, 16, right? It's 16. SP is 21. We labeled this interface incorrectly. Let me check. It seems wrong. This is 16. 16. This is 16. Connected to firewall is 16. Connected to SP is 21. Then we configure this. Peer link group. It should be a laggy group. We configure it like this. Interface is trunk 1, then trunk port 10G 1016. Mode LACP static, then undo port trunk. Port link trunk, undo port trunk. Hello VLAN 1. DFS group 1 MLAG 1. Let's see if anything was missed. Our trunk is 1, right? 1 to 16. LACP, no problem. Let's apply this directly. Apply 2. Leaf 1 span 1, right? Refresh. Then we configure a chain of 2. At this point, we can modify it. Done. This way it's a bit easier. Don't need this. This is port 21. 21. This is 2. 2. Don't get it wrong. Okay. Span 1. Span 2. But after configuring it this way, it probably won't start up, because our firewall isn't configured. Let's check first. Display DFS Group 1 MLAG brief. 1 is up. 1 is up. 2 is also up. Maybe the firewall configuration I have isn't set. Let me check if the configuration was not removed. Take a look. Display is trunk 1. Right. It's unselected. Correct? The firewall configuration isn't set. Then at this time, let's set up the firewall. Let's first set up the firewall's LAG configuration. Interface is trunk 1. This interface needs to be changed to a tier 3 interface. Port switch needs to be changed to a tier 2 interface. Then mode. LACP stack. Port link trunk. Undo port trunk alone VLAN 1. Then add that interface. Trunk port 10, it's G, right? G we use 8 and 9. 108. G 108. 109. After it's done, let's see if it's up. Is trunk. Select, right? Let's look at span 1, span 2. Display is trunk 1. Is trunk 2. Look at span 2. Is trunk 1. 2, no problem, right? At this point, MLAG is completely set up. It's already done. It's all set.